Hi there, we are back for another episode of Shadowbringers, and we are doing the main scenario quests here at the Tempest at X 8.8, Y 26.4, Z minus 8.4, and we have to talk to Alfino. It's a level 80 quest, a greater purpose, and this one will give us the last ether current we can get from quests in this area. And options are Quick Armed, Quick Tongue, Battle Dance, or Piety. Alfino is awaiting the return of your other companions. We can compare notes once the others return. Hopefully, then our next move will become clear. It would seem our conversations were much alike, a looming disaster, creation magics running rampant, and this convocation's efforts to bring salvation out of chaos. I suppose there was talk of little else in the time when these events came to pass. Oyonge, if I may, what are your thoughts on the ancients' art of creation? A fascinating discipline, indeed. Art the mind can conceive may be rendered in reality. All that is required is a clear concept upon which to focus one's will. 'Tis not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Asians, wherein ritual ceremony presses life into figments of myth and legend. I see, we arrived at the same conclusion then. The people who lived in the age before the Sundering were blessed with vast reserves of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, it seems they paid the cost with not more than a fraction of the ether which cursed through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies, and then seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from a hoard of crystals mayhap, or from the very land itself. Thus, when this art of creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. An interesting matter which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding Emet. Has anyone learned aught which might lead us to his location? Not directly, mayhap, but from what we have heard, it seems the convocation of 14 is sequestered in the nearby Capitol building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant wouldn't let us through without a writ of permission. So we tried our luck at the bureau of the administrator, where we thought these permissions might be issued. But the clerk there said he couldn't help us, since our names didn't appear in the registry. And that was where we gave up. I wonder, so sweet, could you be eligible for one of these writs? The voice in the lift seemed to know who you were. It might be that your name is registered at the bureaus as well. Worth a look, I'd say. Meanwhile, I'll head back to the capital and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray allow me to accompany thee on thy reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. Ahem, I think I'd like to speak with more of these ancients. Maybe they know something that could help cure Sweet's condition. Would you mind coming with me? Of course, I don't mind. Just lead the way. Then Ishtola and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had. And so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in front of the capital. Ah, the Aether. Yes. A visitor's writ? Yes, I can assist you. Full name, please. Sweet Revenge, please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. Ah. Sweet Revenge, your application is ready for collection. As your residency was approved by Emitzark himself, further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of the Secretariat and the clerk will issue you with a visitor's writ for the capital. Ah. Next, please. Visiting the capital, are we? Please take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. Ah. Empty seat. May I? You. You, I think, are from a time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of Emetzak? Nay, there is no cause for alarm. I am simply a shade, here and not here. I know only that my name is Hyslo Deus, and that this city is a recreation, a phantom moment plucked from the well of history. These others seem unaware of their pale existence, but I wonder if Emetzalk's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. A stray thought would have been enough. Hyslotheus will realize the truth. For example, we were close friends once, you see. Yet in spite of my perception, I play the same role as all the rest. A bit part meant to bring color and noise to this well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny, and we shall burst like the fragile bubbles we are. Thus, I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. If you've come this far, then you know of the catastrophe which awaits us on our morrow. The final days, what began as isolated incidents, soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavored to create a will for our star. They would repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such a scale required an immense source of power. Of those of us who still lived, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. And from their sacrifice, Zodiac was born. Just as we had hoped, he reached forth and halted the march of oblivion. Yet, oh how the star had suffered, so many species lost. The land was blighted, the waters poisoned, and even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give of themselves to Zodiac. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure that trees and grasses and myriad tiny lives would sprout and grow and flourish. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we reconsidered the means by which we might protect it. The convocation decided thus. We would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality. Then, when the time was right, we would offer some portion of its living energy to Zodiac. In return, he would restore to us those brethren whose souls had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. There were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiac, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. These dissidents surrounded their life energies in the creation of Heidelin, an incarnation of their opposing belief. And for the first time in history, our people stood divided. Know you, then, how this conflict ended? Wow. I thought you might. Aether has ever been a champion for the will of Zodiac. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will have not abandoned his course. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with a certain glib ease, Aether is not a man to bear his burdens lightly. In fact, I imagine they have only grown heavier with every passing century. "'Tis truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry. Sweet revenge. It seems your turn has come. Pray, do not let me keep you." Ah, there was one last thing. You walk with another at your side, yes? Huh. Nay, I see no definite form. Just the faintest suggestion of a second soul. I doubt it visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear this ethereal companion. Your connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. The color of your souls tells the tale. A you that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. Ah, this is just the kind of fate I might expect for one such as she. Surely Emetzark has recognized the hint of her in you. Sweet revenge! Fare you well, my new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. You visit this writ as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. Okay, and now we get the last Aether current from a quest. So I will do the Aether currents from the field before I follow up with the last main scenario quest from patch 5.0. Finally, you were gone so long I was on the verge of mounting a rescue party. How fared you in your bureaucratic ventures? Ah, I see my instincts were correct. And the good thing too, Orienge and I wait our chances of breaking into the capital, and an official entrance is by far the more attractive option. The capital boasted not a single armed sentry. It would seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, appear heavily warded, so mightily did we strive with strength, mundane and magical, we failed to budge them even a fraction of one ilm. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that Emetzark's recreation did not extend to their usual function. We didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speaking of which, Reen and I tried asking about a cure for you. The problem is these engines didn't exist beyond Amorods today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you, sweet? Was aught worthy of interest said during your efforts to obtain a writ? A great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection. And you say all the Ascians' scheming has been leading to this? All this time, but if they still mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with the rejoining. I thought we knew their intentions in full, restore the world to its former glory, and, in turn, empower Zodiac to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. Yet that was merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put it into words, but we have to assume that following the final rejoining, the Ascians mean to draw on the lives of the Source to make their sacrifice to Zodiac. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Ascians would be spared that fate. But what value is there in surviving when all our history, all our struggles will be erased? I cannot conscience such an act. Of course not. And that's to say naught of what Amethyst plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? We need to find him, sweet, and when we do, make your mark. Change the course of history in a way that's felt by those who came before and those who came after, by everyone you have ever met. Change things so that even my other self, dying somewhere in that future calamity, will smile and say, I knew you would win. Is fighting Amethyst the only way? He created an entire city. It will take everything we have to defeat him, if we even can. And if you push that hard in your current state, the light will break free. The decision to press on lies with you just as it lies with each and every one of us. Skill speed. Complete. Okay. These occurrence. So that was number 5. So before I follow up with the main scenario, I will gather all of them, field Aether currents, and then I will follow up with the main scenario. This should be the last main scenario quest for this patch, and we have to fight with Amethyst. So that was it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.